I've been really happy with this series. I haven't done any editing on it yet, but I've been really happy with it. I've had a blast.
I'm glad. I'm happy I was able to share this game with literally anyone else.
Yeah, fair.
And not have it go poorly. As you can imagine, there is a lot of room for it to go poorly. As I'm sure you no doubt learned.
Yeah. This game does not exactly hold your hand in any regards.
Nope.
Alright.
What's our tamer level, out of curiosity?
Let's take a look.
We are at tamer level 3. Okay. So we get 30% carryover.
Finish the game.
We're not going for all medals.
I don't even know how to do that.
Neither do I, but it's a lot. It's a whole... I think one of them is going to be like all cards or complete Digidex and other obscene things like that.
Yeah.
I'd probably get one for max recruits.
I would assume so.
Which, we'll get there.
There's probably one for the normal arena and probably also one for the bug arena.
Maybe.
I'm almost kind of surprised we didn't get one for fishing up Digimon.
Because fishing up Digimon is kind of a side thing-ish.
Well, yeah, but I would have just... I was thinking of other things that they have in the game, like, oh, fishing.
You probably have one for all items.
Oh, yeah.
Just getting one of everything, at least, eventually. You are going to have the smartest brainchild.
It'll be the smartest poop.
Except the stats are going to lower. So, a champion's lifespan is about... what? Like, we'll say 12 days. Just, we'll lowball it.
He gets 12 days after he digivolves, or... like, you were mentioning something about...
So, it expands the lifespan.
Okay.
To where... like, it kind of adds on days, but more like it resets the lifespan to X amount of time.
Okay. So, like, if he spent 3 days as... If he was 3 days old when he turns into a champion, it would, like, reset it to, okay, now he's got 12 more days, so we would live to 15?
Think of it more like all your age is never changing beyond, like, the natural progression.
Yeah.
All you're doing is changing the ceiling of when you run out of time.
Right.
So, naturally, every time you digivolve, the ceiling raises. When you use a devil chip, the ceiling lowers.
Right.
I believe the way it works is, as soon as you digivolve, it removes those penalties from the devil chip and puts you back into where it should be. So instead of, like, living to 5 days as a champion, just arbitrarily,
yeah,
it'll reset back to, like, 17, 18. Does that make better sense? So, like, instead of, say, like, you digivolve and you get, like, 4 more days, you'd think you'd live to 7. Whereas instead, it'll just reset you back to the intended, like, 17, 18.
Okay.
It should theoretically negate the downsides of the devil chips. Just with the way the programming works. I think.
Well, we'll find out.
We can experiment with it. Sort of. Kinda, not really, actually. But, you know.
He will be the smartest poop.
Regardless, I do highly recommend popping a few chips on the bastard as soon as he turns into poop, because he will need the help.
Yeah.
And you will probably need to spend like a day or two boosting the HP as well.
Yeah.
Just so it doesn't die in a hit.
Literally a hit.
Exactly. Which, that's something you can do, like, just, I don't know, a day of HP training, because you're already getting a bit of MP from the brain thing.
Yeah.
And it's not like your poo pals are gonna hit super, super hard. Just hard enough. So let's just throw out a number, say it lives to 12. We could probably safely give it 4 or 5 chips, maybe, without it dying on us. Because that would bring it down to 7 or 8 days of life.
I'm gonna train him one more time before I heal him, because I've been noticing as I go back to heal, there's only been a couple of times where he's actually said, oh yeah, he's getting slightly tired.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Most of the time it's been saying, like, as I've done 4 trainings and then gone to heal, it's just said, oh yeah, he's fine.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna start doing it 5 times instead, between healings. Because this guy seems pretty hardy. That might be because of the items we have.
Could be. It does improve things.
Yeah.
I mean, we have stacked the deck heavily in our favor at this point.
Yes.
We are no longer the early game chumps that we were.
Out of my way!
So, because we can always save and reload if we super fuck up.
Right.
Rar, rar.
Yay.
I would recommend doing one, hey, it's Megadramon. What you up to, buddy?
I am the most powerful one. And I don't consider myself a loser to you. If you come to the arena, you'll see.
You do you, buddy.
Alright.
Yeah, I'm gonna say let's pop 5 chips into him, and we'll figure out which stats exactly.
After he evolves, yeah. Alright.
I imagine you'll probably want to do like 3 or 4 for the offense brains,
Probably.
and then a couple for the defense and speed. Actually, to be fair, the fact that we haven't Digivolved yet tells me that we're fine.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, our last guy Digivolved, like, 2 times within, like, the first 48 hours he was alive.
It was a very unusual circumstance. Things were very strange with that Digimon. Just all around.
And then he carried us through the majority of the game.
Yeah. It's not easy getting through the entire game on 2 Digimon.
No. We beat the game with 2 Digimon.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
There's something to be said for that. Compare that to the one guy you watched.
Who, yeah, barely even got anywhere with his first one. Played for 4 hours and then never went back to the series. After he got poop.
Are you able to recognize what they did wrong now?
Kind of.
Yeah. You'll get there. I feel like you've learned a lot from this series.
I feel like I have. Alright. Well, I'll keep training. This one in Diddy Kong Racing, I just keep learning things as I play games with you, Tim.
I like having that happen. It's fun. I like being able to share passion games, we'll say.
Alright. Come here and learn, you little piece of shit.
You're learning it. You're teaching it how to be shit. Speaking
Indeed.
of...
Alright, cool.
Speaking of... And if we did everything right, this is where it's going to get interesting as we start playing chicken with some numbers.
Oh boy.
Are you poop?
Am I...
No!
I am not poop.
Uh-oh. How did that happen?
Alright.
Okay, so reload. I am going to look at Centurimon and figure out where we fucked up.
I don't know. We got to Brains 400, and then he digivolved. I'm gonna guess it had something to do with that.
Did the fucking thing typo? Okay, well, the reason I say that is because we can... Yes, it is the brains that... shouldn't have been able to digivolve, though.
Maybe it's just because he's happy.
It was the bonus condition that did it. Are you fucking kidding me? The stupid table that tells you what it can digivolve in doesn't have Centurimon listed on it.
Alright, fair enough.
So that one's on me.
Alright, fair enough.
That's okay. I think I know what happened.
Okay. Well...
The bonus condition is what barely pushed it over the edge into digivolving into a Centurimon. And that bonus condition is a discipline gauge above 60%.
So, feed him a shit ton while he's full.
Yes.
Got it. Alright, gotta reset.
Because you successfully did care mistakes, you failed on body weight, you did the stats parameters, because all it is 100 brains, and you passed the bonus conditions, which barely pushed it over the edge.
Mm.
If you lower the discipline gauge to about, let's say, half a bar, you'll be fine.
Alright.
Yeah.
Go boom, Numamon.
And you should be right next to the...
Should be right next to...
I mean, to be fair, you can buy, like, 15 meat and then just counterbalance it with carrots.
Yeah, I could.
Which is not the worst plan.
Or I could just feed him expensive care mistakes. Alright, bud.
Okay, so this is us coming back because we goofed a bit. The guide I was going off of just conveniently forgot to mention a Digimon, because why would it?
Yeah, it turns out Centurimon wasn't on the table of possible evolutions, so...
So that one's on me for not paying close enough attention, because I should have known better. That being said, what ended up happening was Gabumon was able to digivolve into Centurimon because we had less than 3 care mistakes, so we passed that condition. We completely blew the body weight out of the water with 1 instead of 30, so we failed that one with flying colors. The only stat parameter for Centurimon is 100 brains. So naturally, we blew that one out of the water in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
What ended up pushing Centurimon over the edge of being a possible Digivolution is the bonus conditions. Now, these don't come up too terribly often, and usually you try to work them into your benefit. Bonus conditions typically fall under one of like 4 categories. Either certain happiness or discipline values, how many total techniques you know, and usually it's a completely unrealistic number like 35 or plus 40 techniques, to where you're never going to really encounter that till like end game. And the other final ones like battles, typically either in the sense of a ton of battles or no battles. More often than not, the tons of battles though.
Yeah.
In Centurimon's case, what pushed him over the edge was a discipline value over 60%. So, what we're going to do to deal with this... Oh, you know what you could also just do?
Scold him a bunch?
Praise him a bunch.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes,
I like
yes,
this.
yes. Quite a bit.
Good boy.
He is the bestest boy, and we are going to very much let him know. Yes, yes, turn into the poo. So what we're doing here, since we already failed it once, we are able to just reload it to a few minutes prior to Digivolution. And as you can see, we are going to force lower his discipline to make it to where it's just going to be a non-issue.
Yep. He is not... You know what? I'm going to praise him one more time, just for good measure.
Because training him is going to raise it.
Yep. So I'll have to be careful about keeping that... I'm going to try and keep the face blue.
Yeah. It's difficult to really gauge where 50, 60% really is on this gauge, as I'm sure you've no doubt noticed by now. But just for safety's sake, we'll say it's going to be...
He didn't Digivolve.
So that's a good sign. Because usually when you Digivolve into poop, it is at the last possible moment of a rookie's lifespan. Of just... Fine, you hit nothing, this is what you get.
Yeah.
It is the fail-safe Digivolution. So, yep. Before, when we failed, and which you may or may not include...
Oh, I'll include it.
Okay. We would have Digivolved by now.
Yep.
And I would just give him a good old yes, yes to be safe. Because with the way the bonus conditions work, the second you get discipline over 60%, he will Digivolve on the spot. Fun, I know. But that's typically a good thing.
Alright. I'm going to praise him one more time before I have him rest.
This is a very unique situation.
Yeah. We're in a... I don't think we ever talked to you.
Train.
Okay, cool.
Hard.
Oh, this is not an actual path.
No, I was trying to figure out what you were doing, but I didn't want to interrupt your glorious run.
My glorious run cycle.
Okay, so now we should be fine.
Yeah. I need to take him and have him rest, which should not increase his discipline that much. I just have to make sure he's a spoiled little son of a bitch.
Yes. So this is an excellent example of how you don't need to meet all 4 conditions to reach a Digivolution. You just have to meet 3 of the 4. It does specify that there's an order of priority, but honestly, I don't think it matters that much. I think more than anything else, the game's just looking for 3 of the 4 conditions to be met.
Yeah.
In terms of care mistakes, body weight, stat parameters, and bonus.
I'm glad we figured out the praising thing, because the carrots were not actually dropping it a whole heck of a lot when we were overfeeding.
So, praise and scold, not too terribly useful in this game, but it does have its moments.
It's useful when you're trying to make him a piece of poop.
Yeah.
When you're trying to raise a little piece of shit, it's useful.
Yeah, the funny thing about praising and scolding is unless you specifically know what they're used for, more often than not, they're just going to make your Digimon worse.
Yeah.
Which I find hilarious, personally.
And I find that most people who I've watched try and play this use praising and scolding like, oh, he did well in the training, time to praise him.
Right.
And, yeah, that's not what you use that for. In fact, I don't know any time that you use praise.
I will admit, I don't entirely know when you're supposed to use it either. But as you probably noticed, I also don't think it matters that much.
I mean, it clearly hasn't mattered at all.
Oh.
Oh.
You
learned Tremor.
Tremor. Finally.
Awesome.
I think that's what that said. I don't know. It's very beginning.
We learned Tremor.
Oh.
Alright.
I don't...
We have Tremor.
I don't think that's how that's spelt, game.
It is by the game.
Oh no. Nice.
He's gonna be the smartest boy.
I will have you know that the guide spells tremor correctly. I don't think I've ever noticed that. Why am I not surprised, though? We'll just call it charm.
We'll call it old games. Not done yet, huh?
No. We are playing a very fine balancing act.
I think he should be okay still.
Probably. Dear God, this amount of stat on a rookie is obscene. I don't think I've ever gotten a rookie this high in a
Technique
single
mastered.
stat.
New orders.
Yeah? Is it poo time? No, it's food time. Well, one leads to the other.
Alright. I've also trained him 5 times, so it's probably good time for rest. Although he'll want to fall asleep here pretty soon.
I would just push through. It doesn't matter that much.
No.
If anything, the care mistakes are making it even easier. Though I don't think tiredness counts as a care mistake.
There he is.
Okay.
He should be digivolving any time now.
Yes. Correct.
Well, let's save. We learned a new move.
Bold. Understandable, but bold nonetheless.
Still
Kicking.
Still you. Alright. He's gonna be the smartest poo out there.
No kidding.
There it goes.
Speaking of...
Alright.
Gotta love... God, I hope we did this right.
Oh, I hope so too. Because I don't know how to fix it at this point.
You got me. That's what I'm here for. I was able to fix Centurimon, hopefully.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah!
We are successfully a big old green pile of poop.
We are successfully poop.
Yay.
Let's look at them stats.
It went down.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that's what poo does.
Alright.
So...
And he's got party time.
Yeah. And the worst move in the game. By a country mile.
Horizontal kick.
That is worse than Sonic Jab. That is worse than Spitfire. It's
not
very
that much worse.
So here's why it's so much worse. Horizontal kick is slow.
Oh.
Sonic Jab is ludicrously fast. Spitfire is long range and pretty fast.
God, just looking at the machine moves, their power is just insane. All of them. Like, oh, and even static electricity was pretty strong.
Yeah. The only really bad moves in the game are the starting moves of each one.
Yeah, fair. Alright, well.
So, okay, so we're at 5 days, was it?
6.
6 days? Ugh. How do we want to do this?
How many chips do we feel comfortable giving him to be able to actually do? Should I just train him on HP first and then do chips?
I would say... Yeah, probably.
Alright, and do we want to
do a full day of HP, save, and then let's force feed 10 chips, and then we can go try to grab a few moves.
10? That's 10 days.
Did I say 10? I meant 4.
Okay.
I definitely meant 4. I don't know why 10 came out.
Alright, should I switch over to radishes? Because I think that's good for HP, right?
No.
Do we still care about weight?
We do not care about weight anymore.
Okay.
Carrots are for HP.
Oh, okay. So we'll just keep doing that?
Yeah. We no longer care about stats outside of just living and actually doing something.
I don't know if this still matters, or if you still had it.
Not overly.
Alright.